So, hey, John here. It's October 3rd, 2025. Just paid my rent on the 1st. Yesterday, I heard some girl, which I'm assuming is either Sandy Gil or another blonde hooker that walks around here. I forget her name. Um, Someone that lives in Smith Towers told me her name. She's involved in there a lot. But I heard her saying something about, oh, I can't wait till they get him out of there or something like that. We can't do nothing until he's out of there, that type thing. So she was standing in front of my building, but across the street. So I assumed she was talking about me, looking over this way. And again, I can't see too good, but oftentimes I'll use my phone and I'll do this to zoom in on the person, across the street, yada yada. So I can only tell they were blonde and short. And again, there's two of them that look like that. Sandy Gil, who was a well-known prostitute and drug addict for years in Pottstown. And anybody and everybody that knows her, my family knew her and sold her drugs. My mom, my deceased mother, anyway, I was walking downtown today. Went to my normal stops, the bank, tobacco store. Stopped in a shop and picked up some items like The Sopranos. Some guy had waiting for me there, and a few more items. And then I was walking back home. I got to the corner of Charlotte, or I was actually approaching it. I was about 25 feet from the corner, 30 feet. And lo and behold, there's Sandy Gil. Wow, imagine that, huh? Oh, hi. Hi, how are you doing? I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her. Well, as much as I could for a blind person, you know what I mean? Wondering who's got her stemming out here looking for me. It's either Scott Ohm, who she's well acquainted with. I'm sure she knows Wade Wilkinson. He's a member of the Get High crew in Pottstown, selling and buying and doing, and so is she for years. Like I said, it's hard not to know Sandy Gil. Matter of fact, when he stopped into my house for overnight, he was looking out the window and said, "Oh, there's Syphilis Sandy," so he knows who she is. As she was walking down the street. And this was Wade Wilkinson himself who said that. So he knew Bird, like I said, down below my window is conversing with him out the window, and he went down and talked to him, and he knows Syphilis Sandy. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't call her that. He did. He knows Sandy Gil. So anyway, I made it to the corner, but as I stopped before she got to me and she passed me by, I gave her plenty of berth. And again, I carry a policeman's vest cam around my neck. So, there was no misconstrued, he touched me or he did this or he said that. And it's been all recorded, but I'm trying to say that as she was passing me by, she said under her breath and in a sarcastic tone, "Oh, that's right, you're blind." So again, I don't know who had her stemming for them, Wade or Scott Ohm, which she's well acquainted for. I have videos way down my Facebook wall of him pulling up in a little blue hatchback car, standing out there, and Sandy coming out of the Pollock building and walking right up to him and them talking for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So she's probably a client of his, or a meth. He delivered meth to her or weed or something, and then he proceeded to walk across the street toward the Aki store. I would say in that direction, but he was directly across the street, parked at ACA. And this happened numerous times. I have him on video and pictures of him before I even knew who Scott Ohm was. So anyway. Long story short, they're all acquainted. That's what I'm trying to say. Or it's the police, because I saw a white truck the other night stop out there. Black guy, tall, bald, get out of the vehicle, walk toward my residence, and then get back. I don't know, he disappeared. And then the the mini bike guy went down my sidewalk real slow. Like they were looking at my mailbox or something, my address. And next thing you know, the white truck pulls around the corner toward the back of the Pollock building, and Syphilis Sandy shows up in front of my building, but coming from the opposite way, like she was coming from Redner's way, going to the Pollock building. And she's standing out there looking at her phone, looking up at my building. So I don't know what they wanted. They were getting my address. And of course, I attempted to tell the police officer that initially approached me about it. And she didn't want to hear it, of course, because either her superiors, told her, squashed it, or she's just a lazy cop and doesn't want to do her job, one or the other. But I attempted to tell her, and she's like, "Call 911." I'm like, you know what? F you. You'll never. And she won't. I'll never give her the time of day again. She will never get another word out of me. I'll call the state cops, or I'll call the task force before I call these idiots in Barney Fightbill here. So anyway, my point is that Sandy came past me today, which she's clocking me. They're watching where I'm going. They're watching, you know what I mean? Now, I can't see distance. I can't see if she's a block and a half up watching me, you know what I mean? Like following me slowly. So God knows what's going on. Scott Ohm could have been sitting across the street in a car, Wade or somebody. But that's the first time I've seen her out in town and ever, never, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden there's Sandy Gil popping up in the middle of the day. And she used to sit at Redner's, and of course they used to sit, back when the prostitutes were thick, they used to sit behind Redner's on King Street in the parking lot and get picked up there. The cops know this. Some of the cops picked them up themselves. I mean, you know, every cop ain't crooked, but there are crooked cops, you know what I mean? So let me just leave it at that right there. So that was a pickup spot on King Street between, I think that's Evans or Franklin. It's between Evans and Franklin. There's a big parking lot. It's where the auto parts store is now. So that's where she used to stand back in the day. And I've seen her stand there many times. I used to live on Chestnut and King and come around the corner to go to Renner's, and there she'd be soliciting, you know, for that nasty butt. But anyway, yeah, so she's following me around. I guess the guys can't. That's what I'm guessing. And they put her to task to do it. So, because, you know, no cop's going to think a woman's following me. Or she is a stem for the cops, and they've got her following me around to see what I'm going to do. Approach her, talk to her. Listen, she's like shit on the end of my shoe. I would scrape her off. That's how much I just detest her. I've hated her for years, and I would not talk to her. So I would not go up to her and solicit her for anything, not even a dime for a phone call. So if that's what the cops are trying to do, I have no idea, but it looked like a setup to me. So I'm just making note of it. All right.